seeing the obvious and being in denial. Because that is the brain's way of coping with an issue that the mind knows it has no information on how to change. The mind will do anything with information. Our biggest problem is that we are not information gatherers and users. That's the only issue we have. We don't get the information and use it. The strongest people on the planet, the most beautiful people on the planet, and the dumbest. Void of information. That's what dumb means. It doesn't mean retarded. It means void of information. Next. Okay. The body will endure an incredible amount of trauma and neglect to survive. The mind will also corrupt itself to accommodate the body's desires. Okay, this is why the addicts kill their mama, steal the TV set from the sister, sell the baby, because of this corruption. Because when a person gets to the point where that chemistry is totally controlling the body, when that chemistry is not present, they literally feel as though they're dying. And so they go into survival mode, where relationships and anything else have no value. It's about me living. That's how they see that. And that's why we have to really understand what addiction is and how it works in the body, so that we can help our relatives and our neighbors deal with that. Because we are plagued with addicts throughout our communities and in our environment. And so hollering and cursing at them and locking everything down is not the answer. It's not the answer. You have people that basically have an emotional body that's huge and expanded, and tissues that are inundated tremendously with chemicals. So they need support and information, understanding that those emotions that they created are totally illusionary. The chemistry that they create in their bloodstream, they have to be cleansed of that. The tissues have to be totally purged. There's no detox program in your community that forces these addicts to clean up. So it's the most ridiculous thing to sit there with somebody who is totally inundated with molecules of emotion, smoking cigarettes, drinking coffee with 5 candy bars stuffed in their mouth, and you're telling them not to go out and get some crack or heroin. Just by the fact that they are eating cigarettes, eating candy bars, and living off soft drinks tells you how vast their addiction is. Because all of those are further substances of addiction. A treatment center should have no substance of addiction, no sugar, no caffeine, no nicotine at all. So how are you going to clean up somebody's addiction when you're taking one substance and substituting it for another? Now, is that logical to a thinking mind? Of course not. And we don't have to have a PhD in rocket scientist to figure this out. But yet and still, we see our people go up into these institutions and will sometimes drive them up there. And you know they're not going to get any help. What is this? So it's not an arduous process to detoxify people, to clean them up. But the information, what is the information on how to do this? What are you really looking at? Because the experiences they have are really not the issue. Again, none of them had to be the turtle with no mom or daddy and jump in the ocean and have to navigate that for 250 years. So if it's because the mama left you or the daddy beat you or even incest, it is what it is, but how you value it and judge it is what will make you or break you. Do you understand that? And we have examples of that, where people can do all kinds of things, but they don't have a value on it. What has happened to me, we don't have a value on it. It's just a fact, it happened, but this is where I am, and they move on. They have no chemistry in the muscles and in the tissues that inhibit them from having new experiences, because they didn't judge the past, and they don't linger in it. Do you understand what I'm saying? Any experience you have is the opportunity for you to become wise and to actually see your divinity in it. That's what these experiences are about. And if you give them any other precedence in your life, you're going to make yourself an addict, and you're going to basically totally sabotage the quality of your life. And so it doesn't matter how much money you have, it doesn't matter how famous you are, etc. If you do not know how to work your mind, to use your mind, to use your willpower, to incorporate that under a spirit, you are going to jam yourself. We have examples of that. Whitney Houston is an awesome example of that. So in most people's eyes, she had everything going for her, but we recognize that she didn't have much going for her because nobody and all that money and all that fame ever taught her how to use her brain and her mind, and so she jammed herself up. So we all think that, having these things are the answer. No, it's not. If you have a brain and a mind that is coordinated and works properly, you can have all of that and far more. And you can have it on your own terms when you want it. And it will not destroy you. So I was listening on the radio. They were interviewing some gentleman who was writing about Darryl Strawberry and how awesome he was, etc. And he was a thorough, inundated emotional addict. And all he could talk about was something that happened with his mother, I think, or he had a mother or father issue. And they said that, his athletic skills were incredible. The Caucasian people were just dribbling at the mouth about it. They just had 1 ounce of his skills and talents, what they could do with it. And he's off somewhere lost with some foolishness. And just totally sabotaged himself over the past. Just totally out of control, emotional body, mind just going awry. And we sit there and we look at this and we just basically act like it has no meaning, no message for us, etc. That is the residue of slavery. Expecting master to take care of it. Master knows best. Master will take care of it. We just sit there and watch and just record it and gossip about it. Because a sovereign person takes care of themselves. Nobody knows their business. Nobody knows them better than they know themselves. So they don't ask anybody to take care of their business. They take care of it themselves. And if they don't know how, they get busy figuring it and finding it out. So the great people that we have, if we would become a sovereign person, first of all, in spirit and in mind, we could save these great people. We wouldn't have to worry about somebody else trying to figure out what's wrong with them, because we would know and treat them properly. But this is the residue of slavery that we're sitting here looking at. Next. Oh, is that the, hold on, put that back. Right. Okay, yeah. The single foolproof method available to the mind, which will always allow it to overrule the body's desires and emotions, is knowledge applied through the use of one's will or willpower. I don't care what it is that is bothering you. I don't care what the problem is in your body. When you get the information, or a person who's supporting you gets the information, and you submit to that 100%, you will get the change and the transformation. I have seen people who have broke their neck and were told that they shouldn't have even lived and definitely would never ever sit up again. Quadriplegics that are running marathons. They are running marathons because they hung on to one truth, is that if I was walking once, I can walk again, and nobody and no one is going to tell me that I can't. So you have to understand that after these type people with this kind of made up mind proved medical science wrong, that we do not have any tissue in our body that cannot regenerate. There is no tissue in your body that cannot regenerate. So we used to always try to tell you that, oh, nerve tissue, if you injure your spinal column, that's too bad, oh, you'll never do this. Lie. Because the body will do what the mind tells it. That's the first law of having a body. So they willed it, and it was so. So they're walking marathons, and the doctors are like, well, this is exceptional, this is the miraculous, whatever else, etc. It is not. It is a natural talent and gift and capacity that we all have.